And we are live for a special episode on Italian football. Like we promised, we a lot of EPL. We've been doing a lot of Indian football. We've done Indian football, and as our bio suggests, all things football. Well, there are top five European leagues that we talk about every day. But how many of them do we speak about? We speak about the English Premier League, the La Liga, but Italian football has its own beauty. And if you thought there are no supporters of Italian football in India, well, you all are mistaken. We actually have fan clubs of Italian football in India, and we have all the fan clubs: Juventus fan club, the Napoli fan club, the Inter fan club, and the Milan fan club. Also, the Roma one, who is not here at the moment. But let me introduce you to our special guests from the podcast, from the lineup. Here's Swarnim, who's representing Juventus. Hi, Swarnim. Uh,
Hello.
Yogesh, who's representing Napoli.
Ciao.
And here's Gautam, who's representing Inter. So, Gautam, it's a pleasure to have you. And Chintan, you're representing Milan. Great to have you as well. And this is one of the most enthusiastic lineup I've seen, and the most knowledgeable one. Well, we discussed a lot of stuff off air. Let's go on air, guys. We are on air, and since this is the first episode of Lega Serie A, the journey so far, we plan to start we plan to start beginning with how you all actually formed these supporters clubs. So let's go to Swarnim first. Swarnim, can you describe the journey so far of the supporter club, Juventus?
Sure. Okay. So how this the supporter club came about was we were a couple of friends on Facebook on Orkut from the Orkut days. We were continuously discussing about Italian football, especially Juventus, how we perform, our transfer strategies and other stuff like that. So instead of when we started to grow, as you might know, that Juventus has been improving as a team step by step. So with the improved performance, there are more and more fans joining the group, and now we are an official recognized football club, fans club.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. On to you, Yogesh, the Napoli supporters club.
Hey man, so we started the page around in 2011 season. And I've been very lucky. My motto of creating the page was to find fellow Napoli fans in and around here with whom I can talk in an Indian culture background. Before that, it used to be on Facebook talking to mostly Italian guys and guys from Europe. But then I saw there are right now also there are very few English speaking Facebook groups or Twitter channels on Napoli. So I also had a pleasure of creating one of the largest English speaking Twitter channel for Napoli, and I'm actively contributing with that when one of my friends from Iceland. So it takes up a lot of my time, and I'm very happy to devote to my time to this.
Fabulous stuff. So let's go to you, Gautam. We've heard about Juventus, we've heard about Napoli. It's time for Inter, the Inter Supporters Club, which is also official along with Juventus, is it?
Yeah.
So, worked with Inter in 2013. So, Inter coaches had come down here to conduct a coaching academy, Indian coaches. So, I worked with them in 2013, and then Parth, one of the other co-founders of Inter Club India, he wanted me to start a fan club here. And then we got connected through a person from Inter. And then we started a Facebook page to connect with other Inter fans. And then we have a WhatsApp group, and that's how Inter Club India came into being.
Fabulous stuff. I am getting charged up here listening to all stories. And here we have Chintan. Chintan, hi. Pleasure to have you again. Let's talk about the Milan Supporters Club. And even Siddharth, my friend who's watching right now, must be seeing this. So tell us about the Milan Supporters Club.
So we had a few fans on Facebook and Orkut, and of course that was one of the mediums to communicate with. And of course you have those good little banters on Twitter. So we decided to form a WhatsApp group, and some people have known each other for over 7-8 years. And then once we just decided, okay, guys, let's just meet and let's just make this an official AC Milan Fan Club India, So we met, and that's how we all got along and got to know each other.
Fabulous. And guys, if you've heard all these are official Juventus and Inter are official, the others are in process, but these are supporters club from India and the Italian supporters club and the league that has often been ignored. But here we are at the Panenka View focusing on things that are building. So let's build up audience, guys, and this is a platform for you to come. Let's discuss the league here. Let's discuss everything Italian football. I'm the host Prasad, and here I am going to you, Swarnim, with the first.
Okay.
With the first question is, for how long have you been a Juventus fan?
I've been a Juve fan since 2006, the infamous Serie B days.
Oh, okay. So you've seen your team go from
Calciopoli.
Yeah. With the name, it's called Poli. So let's not argue about that. Then it will never end.
So he's seen his team go from the second division to relegated, and then the first one, and then now they are on top, and they look relentless, by the way. And
yes, they do.
Yogesh, you've been a Napoli fan since. How can you describe your tenure as a Napoli fan? Like since how?
So I've been a Napoli fan since Mazzari's first season in 2010, and like those were the days when it was Cavani's first season, and that was on loan. And I'm like, I was just looking out for something new. Like I used to be a very deep hatred of EPL. I'm like, that has gone down. I'm like, I don't hate them now. I just ignore them. So I'm like, I just ignore them right now. So I'm like, I was looking for something nice, something that brought me joy, and like watching Cavani with his long flocks in those days, I'm like watching his goals in those days. I'm like, it was mesmerizing. The three tenors of Hamsik, Cavani, and Lavezzi. I'm like, it was pure joy. And ever since that, I'm like, it has been amazing ever since.
Fantastic. Gautam, you've worked with the Inter Academy as well. You said you got in touch with them, and then you all formed the supporters club. Like the other two, can you share us how long have you been supporting Inter?
So I started supporting Inter from 99.
You heard it right. You heard him right. It's 99. It's not 2019 or 2009. It's 1999. That's 20 years. That's 2 decades, by the way. Yeah. Sorry, Gautam. Go on.
Up until 2006, when Juventus True Colors came out.
We need a whole episode for this.
Yeah, we can do the whole season for that.
Up until like 2006, it was a really bad ride. I mean, we won the trophy apart from UEFA Cup occasionally and finishing in the top 4. I think 2010 to 2010 is not actual Inter years. I mean, people who followed Inter from 2006, I mean, they have a very different view of Inter. They're expecting Inter to just steamroll all the competition and just win the league. But you know, like the people who followed before the 2006 season, not the real Inter, we are supposed to suffer. That's what Inter.
So, guys, that's Gautam again describing his tenure, and Siddharth, the same question to you goes. Milan supporter since you've asked me the question off air. So yeah,
I've been supporting Milan since early 2000 actually, and it's completely opposite from the Juventus fan actually. He saw his team in the dumps and then go up. I've seen it the other way around when we saw the mighty Milan lift the Champions League in 2003, and let's talk about 2005. So I've seen the team go downhill, but as you said, once you support it, you stick by it. Went through a very bad banter era, probably still going through it, but finding it out.
Absolutely, I didn't expect them to go out of Europa. I expected them to qualify ahead, but I think the last team to beat Juventus for a title was AC Milan.
Yeah.
I dare not say AC, Gautam. I dare not say AC. So those are fabulous stories, and it's great to have a fan base of football in India. So let's go to you, Yogesh, first. And Carlo Ancelotti was appointed as the manager this season. Sarri, the last game I watched, a proper 90 minutes game I watched, honestly, and I am very honest, was Napoli versus Juventus, where Koulibaly scored the winner. And I was all pumped up saying, okay, there's going to be a different league winner this time around, but it sadly didn't happen. But Yogesh, how has the season panned out for Napoli so far?
I'm like, I would give the all credits for this season to first of all to our owner ADL Aurelio De Laurentiis. I'm like getting Carlo Ancelotti after Sarri was like immense, and it was like a masterstroke that nobody expected. ADL has a reputation for being very eccentric, and he lives up to that nomination. But he has made a lot of sensible decisions, and I'm like. There's nobody out there who could have topped Sarri and the system that he brought in place. I'm like, when Sarri was appointed, even then, I'm like, people were doubting, what's this? I'm like, this Empoli guy is just coming up and taking up a second position. Napoli. I'm like, there were a lot of doubts, but Sarri panned out how it panned out, and now Ancelotti is doing, I'm like, a commendable job. I'm like, yeah, we definitely went out of the Champions League group, but it was one of the most memorable Champions League groups in a very long time. And I'm like, if not for steamrolling juggernauts of Juventus buying Cristiano Ronaldo, this season could have been very different. I'm like, honestly, I'm like, if other Serie A teams would have been up to a mark, I'm like, take some points off Juventus, and we would have a very closely matched season this time. I'm very happy. I'm like, more than happy.
Some heated comments in the live chat, which I'm not going to read. And yes, I agree. I will follow more of Italian football. I have a group now. And let's go to you, Gautam. Inter is in the top 3 right now. It's third. And recently to Torino. Do you think it's still a long way then, getting that consistency back of challenging for the league? A long way to go for Inter.
Yeah, I think there is still around at least 3 to 4 years Inter can actually challenge Juventus. That depends on Juventus transfer window and how consistent we are. Like if you see, we crashed out the league this year. We had gone through to round of 16. That would have been different. I mean, we could attract more people.
Okay.
And now the thing is, like, there's rumors that Antonio Conte might take over next season. And that is a good step. But Conte is not for a long term. He will stay for like a couple of seasons, probably win some trophies and things like that.
Okay.
So, another Mourinho era. 3 years we win trophies, and then we change coaches, and then we lose play.
Fabulous. Chintan, you gave an intro about Milan and how you've seen them, go from glory with struggling. But let's talk about the owners, Chintan. Do you think the owners have done enough for the club so far, the new owners, the Chinese owners?
No, the Chinese owners are not there anymore, actually. It's
Elliott management.
But the thing is, see, the current management, I don't, their hands are tied. We are stuck with the FFP, so Leonardo and Maldini are doing their best, what they can with the current system, how it's working on. Probably we need a season, probably another transfer market to see how and where we stand. Top 4 is compulsory, because if we need to attract good players, decent players, we need that top 4, And it's good for Serie A also, because Milan are a big team, they're a big name, they're a brand in the Champions, and as they say that the Champions League is in our DNA, so probably that's the only way we can attract good players. So, very positive. Let's see how this current transfer market pans out for us.
So, Swarnim, you might be wondering why you're last here, because Juventus are top, and they've been winning the league for season after season. I think this season is also done and dusted, if I'm not wrong. But
for me, it's too early to say that. There's still half the season to go.
Absolutely, there's still guys. I'm not being biased. I'm just telling you what I've seen for the past couple of seasons, and a little me inside me, the reservoir inside me said, let Juve drop points and let this league become competitive. But then Napoli drop points, Inter drop points, Milan drop points, and
You.
the last season where Napoli won the game against Juventus, me and my friend were saying, "Okay, come on, this is the time. This is the time. A new team is winning the league." And I've never, kudos to everyone who supports their club. But I like competitive nature of the league and stuff, and that excites me more. So when sort of like 3 or 4 or 5 teams competing, I love that. But Swarnim, not drift away from the topic. Did you expect Ronaldo signing this season? And what have been the positives this season added to the from the last season? Like, what have been the positives this season?
See, if you ask me, did I expect Ronaldo to sign for us? Absolutely not. I don't think there was even a single person, even Andrea Agnelli didn't expect that probably. And, the positive is, you have a big name like Ronaldo. The financial point is, of course, a big positive. And apart from that, if I talk about the football part of football, like not in financial way, like about the game, the biggest positive have been, the X factor that Cristiano brings to any team he plays in. He's one of the best players. I won't say the best ever, but one of the best ever. Of course, we have likes of Messi, Maldini, Zanetti, Maradona, of course, Del Piero. I have to say that. So to have a big name like that attracts more viewers to Serie A in general, and especially Juventus. Getting a bit more finances, getting more viewers, it's going to help the team in the long run. And I think this team is supposed to be built to win the Champions League, and let's hope.
Correct. And I'm going to come to you on that topic later, the Champions League later. But Chintan, Milan and Napoli played out a draw in the last game week. Fancied a win there, or thought you might have lost it at some point, the game which ended 0-0?
Yeah, to be honest, after a very long time, I was quite positive about that game. And we usually perform well against the better teams. We usually drop points against the bottom team. That's how Milan.
I can see Siddharth's face, by the way, and him talking to me on the same issue as to.
It has been our perennial problem. The team is ready to sit back, and that's where we probably don't know how to crack them up. I could probably for us, in the end, you could say draw was a fair result, but I think till the 50th, 60th minute, I thought Milan might just sneak this one. So, see, at this moment, other teams dropping points, in hindsight, it was a good that the draw was there. Not for Napoli as much, because they drop points and not kind of the title race becomes more difficult. But we're in the race, for us right now, my focus is whatever happens, just get that top 4 positions, like that's the most important. Fight it out, beat the teams which are fighting for the top 4, like Roma, Atlanta, Lazio. So, and Inter, I guess, we're coming for the 3rd spot.
Well, Yogesh, we don't have a Roma fan here, but we do have a score that said 3-3, and Atlanta actually came back from 3-0 down to 3. They missed a penalty. They could have won it actually.
Yeah.
And they are on such a spree where they have scored 18 in 5 games. So, Atlanta versus Roma, high scoring game. What would you like to say about that game for the viewers who are watching?
So when I saw the score as 3-0 Roma 3-0, so I'm like just back sometime back they threw away their 2-0 lead. So I'm like, this time it was 3-0. So I was okay, maybe they'll win 3-1 or 3-2. But I'm like, when I saw the score again after the game, I'm like, of course, this is AS Roma. They can do this shit. So I'm like, it's good for them. I'm like, Zaniolo had a good match. I saw the extended highlights. Zaniolo, that Zaniolo deal which they had for 9 goal, and it has proven very smart for them. And Zaniolo looks like a player. It's good that Roma can actually now score 3 goals in one match. I'm like, they have a defensive problem, but I'm like, Roma have been like that since forever, I guess. Right now, I'm like, they they just win by outscoring their opponents. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, they'll take some time to grow up.
Yeah, correctly. And Gautam, I'm not going to go to you. Tori, Inter lost 1-0, but I'm going to you with a different question. Swarnim, I'm going to go to you again because Lazio gave Juventus a scare, 1-0 down, 1-0 up, and then those two goals, Cancelo and Ronaldo, towards the end secured 3 points. Did you see any other result panning out from that? Did you expect a draw or a tightly draw there?
Before the start of the match, I expected Juve to win, but the way we were playing for like 75 minutes,
yeah,
we didn't even deserve a draw. Let's be very honest. But well, that's what makes a difference between champion and the not a champion team.
And all three goals were scored by all.
Well, like if I can say, sorry for the language, but shit happens.
So quite a game week there, and guys, Chintan, who has surprised you the most from your team this season, and who has been underperforming?
I think Hakan has been one unanimous opinion of a player who has been massively underperforming. We had a lot of expectations from him. We still do actually, but he's been quite poor this season. And a player who actually has been shockingly surprising for us after having a horrible start was Bakayoko. He's after the injury. We had no expectations, we really thought, and that guy has really stepped up. He's really stepped up. He's pushing this team forward. He's non-stop working hard, and I guess he's probably a linchpin right now. Probably one of the first names on the team sheet, and we need that. We need that one guy who runs hard, does all the dirty work. But I guess Hakan has been the biggest disappointment for me, and Bakayoko the biggest surprise, the positive.
True that. Gautam, is Perisic leaving for the English Premier League? Question mark. And the same question to ask Chintan, what are the positives? Which player has outperformed and which one has underperformed? A few names, if you can.
Yeah, Perisic is definitely going to. I mean, he has created transfer request, and that has come from the management itself, saying that he wants to leave. And if you have watched him play, he has no motivation this season.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I think I would be kind of happy if you leave because if there's no motivation to play for the team. Will player who can perform well then. And the best player this season for me personally has been Kenya. Center back, ball playing, correct. For his age, he's so mature, he's so calm and composed, regardless of the situation, regardless of the opposition. I mean, against Barcelona, he was covering Messi.
I was coming there, correct. Yes.
It's a really good job.
Yeah.
Disappointment, I think, it has been Martinez, kind of, because he missed many opportunities. I mean, even against Torino, he had a wonderful chance to score. If he had scored, we would have.
At least got a point. Yeah, at least got a point from there. Yeah. So true. And the same question to you, Yogesh. For players performing over the bar and under.
Actually, I'm confused between Koulibaly or Allen. I'm like, I have a very happy conundrum. I cannot choose between them. I'm like earlier in the season, I'm like Insigne was on fire, but I guess this is his coming up of age and maturing season. He's going through that period, and we all expected Milik to be, once he's injury free and fit and fine, we all expected him to be be the Milik he's performing like right now. The ones to stand out have definitely been Koulibaly and Allen. I'm not sure which one to pick, but maybe I'll bend more towards Koulibaly because he has not missed a single game until the red card fiasco, and he's very pivotal right now, and I'm like maybe one of the best defenders of this generation.
Well, going straight to you again, Yogesh, on the Koulibaly thing. Fancy him leaving for 100 million if a club comes pouncing?
I don't know. I'm like, ADL is a very tough negotiator. He's an eccentric person. I'll say it as it is, and he's a very difficult person to negotiate with. If anyone can even begin to negotiate with him, I don't think so. Koulibaly leaves for anything less than like 140, 150 million euros.
Oh my God.
And I don't think so. There are a lot of clubs out there who can put in that much. And if things would be very different if Koulibaly hands in a transfer request like Perisic did, and like it would be different. But I don't think so. If some PSG or some new Arab guy comes in or some Chinese Super League comes in, I'm not sure.
Well, fair and honest opinions. Swarnim, Juventus are on such a run that, again, I repeat, they might win the league. Although I want to say they will win the league. They might. Let's say they might. Let's not be biased. They might. Not winning the Champions League be kind of a failure for you all this season?
To be honest, if you this is a new team kind of with departures of the likes of Gigi Buffon, the biggest thing you can imagine, and Claudio Marchisio. These are the two leaders in the locker room. That has been very, very important for the success of the team. And with these two leaving, and of course with the arrival of Cristiano, we expect to win the Champions League for sure. But if we don't win, I might give it another season to be disappointed.
Okay.
If we don't win this season, I would be disappointed, yes. But I would be more disappointed if we don't win even the next season.
By the way, I'm hoping Juventus win the Champions League and slack off like Inter of 2010. Please, we are tired of Juventus.
Just to clear off some comments on the live chat, I didn't say it is a failure. I said, would it be a failure? And there are millions of Juventus fans. Everyone's opinion is theirs. So it's not my opinion. It's just a question that I see. I don't mean to offend anyone. It's just, will it be? And he had his answers. I'm sure you have your answers as well. So, yes, guys, there are two questions that I'm going to come to you, and then I'm going to ask for your predictions, how these, how you expect your team to finish and how the top six stands for you. Chintan, what is the myth that you've heard about Serie A, especially in India, as to, it's boring or something, or EPL, something that you've heard?
Basically, we have a few, the younger generations, the younger cousins, the teenagers, the kids, the common myth has been it is boring and it is defensive. And, it's tiring actually to, just bang your heads against it, how do you argue with them? The common myth has been it's defensive, it's boring. You give them whatever, but they still stick to the same thing that it's slow, it's boring. And of course, some other things I've heard is it's a retirement home. Old players go there and perform well. So these are the few things I've heard. And to be very honest, it's very tiring to argue with them. It's like
Yogesh, you were telling me something before on the off air. Would you like to share something that you've heard, like a myth or something?
Yeah, definitely. Statistically speaking, Serie A had just one goal less than EPL last season. EPL had something like 337 goals throughout 38 games for all teams, and Serie A had 336. And the other point was Serie A is a retirement hope. Then what about Mohamed Salah? He has turned out to be more better than Cristiano Ronaldo, definitely, just little off of Messi. Salah has been a declared flop at Rome. In Serie A, he was found out, and his game was found out a long back. And look at him at Liverpool. What's that for a retirement league?
Sriram says it's slow and defensive is the biggest myth. Yes, Sriram, we would like to have you also discuss the Italian league, if you don't mind. You can reach out to the Panenka View.
Can I just interfere? Actually, I think the Juventus fan will know. The common myth about Italian league being slow and boring. When Patrick Evra came to Juventus, he was completely stunned by how people train in Juventus. He said that back in England, it felt like it was a walk in the park. And, things are so difficult and tactical in the Italian league. There are players who've been saying that now. Ronaldo, great player. However great player he is, he's not finding that movement and rhythm that easily what he found at like in Spain and back in England. So these are players who have been doing well. I'm sure that you can agree about what Patrick Evra said, right?
And it's not just Patrick Evra. There were other players like Matuidi, Carlos Tevez, even Ronaldo himself said that the things that we have in Italy is completely different, and it's a good and a big challenge for them. And we are talking about someone like Matuidi, who has been playing for PSG for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Correct. So, let's Gautam, let's start with you on this one. Because let's just discuss the transfer window comes to an end. The January transfer window is about to end. Who do you see exiting and who do you see coming in for Inter?
I think Perisic, Candreva, hopefully Candreva leaves. Perisic might go, but that depends on Arsenal altogether, because Arsenal don't want to, they just want to loan him out.
The negotiations are very tough, and I can relate to what Yogesh said. I've been seeing the Italians are tough negotiators, especially with Napoli and Juventus, and yes, Inter.
Yeah, I won't say Juventus have been tough negotiators, because if you look at the players that have left the team in a couple of past years, like Pogba, Vidal, these are big names, and if we compare them to Premier League, we sold them for peanuts.
But I still fancy the 89 million for Pogba would easily be 100 plus. The way you all were winning league after league after league. But yeah, that's just one opinion. Well, Gautam, Chintan, ins and outs from the season.
Well, we've been trying to get rid of a few players, not happening. I see a left winger coming in. Hopefully, we've been linked with many players, but salary has been an issue and FFP has been a big issue. To be honest, I don't think any players are going to go out as of now. I don't think so. But definitely a winger coming in. We need a left winger very badly, and I think these guys are working hard on it. So I guess a winger coming. I don't see anyone going out as of now.
All right. So Gautam, would you want to add anything there? Sorry if I've stopped you.
We have so many. I think weaker transfer is not that important now, because we're fighting for top 4.
Okay.
And we have good players on loan. And next season, if we can get back in, and we have good from Atletico.
All right. So Yogesh, the same question: ins and outs. Any additions that are coming or?
So Marco Rog, just like 3 or 4 hours ago, it was made official. Marco Rog went off to Sevilla for a 6-month loan with no option to buy. That was a show of trust in him. And Allen's head was turned around by a PSG offer of tripling his salary. But PSG got stumped by AD's request of 100 million euros plus. And they went in and bought Paredes. That was also got official today itself. And I guess traditionally, for last 3-4 seasons, Napoli has been prepping up for their summer market in January. So in summer, I'm definitely seeing Pablo Fornals from Villarreal coming in, and Sofian Keane from Kivu Verona might come in. He's a 21-year-old midfielder, and there's also wild rumors or something is still in works for hiring Lozano. A lot of clubs around Europe are behind him, and there's also wild suggestions of James Rodriguez reuniting with King Carlos. So if that pans out, I believe whole of Colombia would be Napoli fans in one day. So hoping for that to happen.
Okay, yeah. Swarnim, do I have to ask you a question on who's coming in? Because anyone coming in? Is there anyone that's going out? Have you?
I think we are done for this January. We might go for another defender since Bonucci is out for a long period. But I don't think anyone's coming in or anyone's going out now. In January, yes. But for now, I don't think so.
All right. And Chintan, there's something on chat which says, thank you for not talking about Higuain.
Yeah, right.
Chintan, where it's Sakit.
Yeah, I know. Higuain, who? I think I've heard of that player. Don't know.
No, come on. How can anyone rate Higuain?
Who's Higuain?
Come on.
Does any one of you want to volunteer as to what went wrong for Higuain? What went wrong for Higuain at Milan? And
I'll tell you what went wrong with Higuain. Like, he left a Napoli team which was behind him, and he stood before the curva. Entire team got behind him. Every pass, every assist went to him in his 36 goal season. He said he's here for the long run. He wants to win something with that jersey, and he went to. I'm like, if it would have been Milan, okay, Inter a bit okay, but Juventus after you score 36 goals and stand before the curve, I think that's where he lost it. And I'm like, he got treated as he got treated in Juventus, one of the many stars. He was the only star in Naples. He was one of the many stars that didn't pan out. He got shipped out as soon as the bigger star came in. And at Milan, everyone saw that Milan Juve fiasco of Higuain. He lost his head. At that game, I felt he maybe realized what has he done? Why he ever left Juventus to come to this Milan? And that was it.
Sorry, Yogesh, sorry to interrupt you, but I agree that everything was going through Higuain at Napoli. But at Juve, he wasn't doing as bad as he was doing at Milan. Sorry, Chintan, for that.
Yeah, no. I think the problem was, I don't think he wanted to come to Milan.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. I couldn't see any motivation in him. His body language was sluggish. Yeah. See, I guess in hindsight, you could say probably he might have pulled the team down. You never know. So in the long run, things might be different. But I guess he wanted to go, and I don't think Milan are that kind of a club who's going to hold him back because if he wants to leave. So I guess good riddance.
And I'd still add Higuain is still one of the best striker, one of the best players in his position. Of course, he cannot create like Messi or Eden Hazard at Chelsea, but he is still one of the best, if not the best.
I always, not because he was in Milan, I know, but all throughout his career, I somehow felt that there is a problem with his mentality. He's been a
definitely.
The thing is, he had a very good Juventus team winning with him, but there is somewhere the mentality what changes you from a world-class player to a legendary player, right?
Of course.
I think there was something missing in him always, not just with Milan, with Juventus, with Napoli, with Real Madrid, wherever he played, especially with Argentina. I guess, he had something missing, which would have probably killed him as one of the best strikers.
I think that World Cup miss is still killing him inside, somewhere deep inside. That World Cup miss is still killing him.
Well, very easy to put everything, to blame the fat guy for everything, right? The fat guy.
Gautam, do you like to add anything here?
Yeah, so also I was going to say, the age of loyalty is gone. The age of Del Piero's, Totti's, Niti's, Maldini's is no longer there. So no one is loyal to the club.
Okay.
So if he's approached by a club where he can actually win it, he's going to go there. Yeah. And like Chintan said, he didn't want to go to Milan. He was pushed to Milan.
He was pushed to Milan, yeah. So guys, thing I would have missed, but I haven't, and that's the Coppa Italia that's lined up tonight. And again, we have Milan versus Napoli. So we kind of have you guys here. So let's go to Chintan first. And Gautam, let's go to Chintan first, because Chintan, Napoli versus Milan, again, there was a 0-0 in the last game week in Serie A. Do you see something different tonight, a different approach from the coach?
Yeah, there have been, the lineup might be different, pretty much sure about it. The team might not be the same, the team which started against Napoli. Hopefully, again, positive, like Milan, as I said, Milan do end up playing quite well against big teams. So hopefully, I'm very positive. At least we get a draw and we take it to the next game. But I'm thinking we might get probably a 1-0, Donnarumma standing tall in the goal.
Yeah, Yogesh, anything to add to that?
I was just reading it up. I'm like, there are six players from Milan squad out. There are 4 Napoli guys which are out for this game. And like Carlo would definitely turn around. It's a cup game, so there'll definitely be a result tonight. I think Napoli needs to win something this season more than Milan. Milan are already stretched too much for trying to achieve their Scudetto of 4th place. So maybe I'm like Napoli goes gung-ho and puts in all.
Well, Gautam, Inter face Lazio, and seeing the head-to-head wins 8-8 is what it shows. But the last time in the Serie A, Inter won 3-0. And how do you see Inter and Lazio turning out tonight? Like, it's on Friday, but yeah, how do you see that going?
Yeah, for Inter, I think this is a must-win game right now. After the start to 2019, we have to win this. Plus, at the start of the season, for me personally, Coppa Italia was one of the trophies we had to win. Top 4 in Coppa Italia. That was
finishing top 4 in Coppa Italia. Correct.
Yeah. So I think this is a must-win game. I think they might win 2-1 or 3-1.
2-1 or 3-1 is your prediction. Okay, that's one strong prediction. Swarnim, Atlanta face UA, and Atlanta, we've spoken, have been high on a high scoring spree, 18 goals in 5 games. Like if I had to approach someone and say Atlanta just scored 18 goals, they put 6 past a team, they put 6 past Sassuolo, they came back from 3-0 down against Roma and made it 3-3 and could have won 4-3. Do you have to be cautious there going away?
Of course. In big leagues like Serie A, you have to take every team seriously. And when we are talking about a team like Atalanta, no offense to Spal, but we're not talking about low end like Chievo or Spal or some team like that. And Atalanta is being, given that they are in the form they are in, we have to take that seriously. And I expect the result to be 1-0 for Juve.
Okay, that's one prediction. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode so far and the discussions. We'll get into more of technical stuff and the lineups and things next episode. But it's good that we have this Coppa Italia discussion, and we'll do one post the game weekend after this Serie A weekend. So I hope we can see you all again. But before we go, let's have your predictions on where your team might finish according to you, and the 1 to 6 looks for you. Starting with you, Gautam.
The top
top 6 of the Serie A. Like I could go with top 4, but I kind of see that the league is very competitive at this moment, and 4 to 7 clearly looks very close with all the teams chasing. So, where would Inter finish according to you, and how do you see the top 6 of the Serie A at the end of the season?
So Inter are going to finish 3rd, and top 6 will be Juventus by a mile, then Napoli, Inter. I'll say.
So you are saying Juventus, Napoli, Inter, and pardon me, 4th?
Milan.
Milan. Okay. AC Milan. Yeah.
Lazio 5th and Roma 6th.
You are good. Yeah. Okay. Lazio 5th and Roma 6th. That's one. So Inter is 3rd according. Let's go to our Milan fan here, Chintan. Chintan, do you agree with that? Something different in your mind?
Quite similar. Actually, Juventus is going to win it. I have a feeling they're going to win it quite comfortably, and Napoli will be comfortable 2nd. Milan, the Milan derby will be very crucial. But I think Inter might finish 3rd. We might take the 4th part. I think Lazio will finish 5th, and I want Roma to finish 6th, but you never know. Atlanta might just sneak it.
So Atlanta, Roma, so something like that. Okay. Yes, Swarnim.
My top 6 would be Juve, of course, Napoli, Inter. Sorry, Chintan. I think it's gonna be Atalanta on 4th, given in the form they are. 5th would be Milan, and 6th would be Roma.
That's one prediction. Yes, Yogesh, or to you?
I don't want to mince my word. I was hoping Juventus prison sentence gets imposed right now, and he's taken away to some Spanish jail right now. So maybe.
Well, that's the only hope,
right? So I'm like, who finishes first, then Napoli second, Inter third, AC Milan fourth, fifth. I guess Lazio and Inzaghi have sense. They'll pan out at fifth. For sixth place, I am really pinning. I want Roma to be out of Europa so that they can rebuild their squad and get some money for their stadium and don't have to burn it out in Europa. So I'm really hoping to see Fiorentina with their front three of Chiesa, Luis Muriel, and Gio Simeone in some Europa actions. So hoping for them to finish sixth.
Have every one of you all forgotten Sampdoria? Don't you think?
No, I think Atlanta have that in them to challenge the top six.
Yeah.
But I think top five. I think everyone almost more or less predicted top five quite similarly. So I don't think they have the pedigree to go all the way further till the end of the season, maintain it consistently for 38 games.
Okay, that's one thing. Well, here's one question which I would like to take before ending the episode, and that's for Napoli, Inter, and Milan fans. Where do you think will your team finish in La Liga and EPL? If your team
that's a very I think that's a very absurd question. You can't really and basically in La Liga there are top three teams doing Sevilla. However well they score goals, they do leak in a lot of goals too. So it's a very absurd question to ask. But I think Juventus might win the EPL. I think Juventus might they have this knack in them, they might not play well, but they might just sneak in a 1-0. So
okay. No, he's actually asked it for Napoli, Inter, and Milan. So he's not. Yeah.
I think I don't know, man. I think Milan might finish top 4 in. I don't know, man. It's a very difficult question to answer. We get a lot about this, and especially Serie A fans, it's very difficult to answer such a question, man.
Gautam, anything different you would like to offer? Where would Inter finish if they were in EPL or La Liga?
No, I think I agree with Chintan saying that it's an absurd question because the tactics. EPL plays long ball. And I think Milan and Inter can easily counter. And any Serie A team can counter any mid-table EPL team.
Okay. So that's Gautam's views. Yogesh, your views on this question?
I'm not sure. I have to kind of agree with what Chintan and Gautam are saying. The styles are very different. EPL is very physical. It's a very physical game. They can be easily found out if you have the right tactics in place. La Liga is I think one of the most evenly matched league out there. You see Barcelona. Madrid are definitely dropping points, but even Atletico and Barcelona are dropping points quite oftenly. I think if Juventus would have been in La Liga, they might have just nicked it because of their consistency. And EPL, Juventus are definitely winning. They are more physical than any EPL team out there.
So that's one point where we have a segment called the Banter Show, and we have a plan in mind where we get in a Serie A fan, a Bundesliga fan, a La Liga fan, an EPL fan, a French League fan, and see where it goes. It's a never-ending topic, guys. But let's focus where we are today, and we are on the very first episode of the Serie A journey from the Panenka View podcast, and it's been a pleasure to have you guys. It's been a very enthusiastic lineup. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time here, and as the comments in the chat say, you have to watch more of Serie A. Well, I do. I am getting old and kind of have to rely a lot on the highlights and stuff.
You know Siddharth very well, so I hope you are leaning towards Milan.
So I like to be the podcast policy says host stays neutral, so don't mind if I do that. But guys, thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed the first episode, and I hope we can do this week in, week out, and we can sort of build this build a buzz about the league in the country, which is kind of like sidelined because of the Premier League and the La Liga. So I hope to see you all every week. Is there anything that any one of you would like to add before we go off?
Yeah, I would like to say something.
Yeah.
It's first of all, it's a very good initiative what you're doing. We need a lot of Serie A fans, and there are actually, to be very honest, there are a lot of Serie A fans around. As we found out, it's been happening. We've been finding out people around the country. There are a lot of Serie A fans. We had one Serie A meet in Bombay, in Mumbai. We had a game. It was a very entertaining game, and we found many fans. It's a good thing we're doing. We need to find more Serie A fans. Especially, we need to have. We need this myth to go. That's it. I'm guessing all of you guys agree. It's not a league, and it's not I think it needs to go. So we need a lot of fans. We need a lot of awareness. So what you think is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Anyone else?
Couldn't agree more with my Milan tifosi over here. I think the biggest barrier with Serie A as compared to EPL and comes as the language. All of the memes and the trolls and all the nice content that come up on Twitter, Facebook, they are mostly in Italian. So I think that language barrier is a bit problematic. But you have to just learn Italian.
So So I was talking with all of you guys before we came live, and like I said, let's break those barriers and let's get more people to talk about Serie A. Well, Lega Serie A, and let's hope we can see you and see some more fans. If you all want someone else to represent the club, that's okay with me. So hope you if there's anything, just comment on the video or just send me a message, and I'll be sure to respond to that. So it was again great having you guys, and hope you all have a great Coppa Italia tonight and the coming few days. And let's hope we can meet again after the Serie A. So here's your host Prasad signing out with Swarnim, Yogesh, Chintan, and Gautam. Thank you.
Forza Milan.
Forza Juve.
Forza Napoli sempre.